Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Umar Muhammad Rayyan from Humes 12, Section 1. So today I will discuss the aggressive goose theory. So the author of this theory, named Leonard Berkowitz, was an American social psychologist best known for his research on altruism and human aggression. He originated the cognitive association model of aggressive behavior, which was created to help explain instances of aggression for which the frustration aggression hypothesis could not account. Theory proposed by Leonard Berkowitz that acts of aggression and influenced by the presence of socially learned or environmental situation which make committing aggression acceptable. Aristotle catharsis notion suggests when applied to aggressive media exposure could stimulate aggression, therefore draining of feeling of anger or hostility. Berkowitz TV violence would signal angry individuals to behave aggressively because the viewer would increasingly associate the violent portrayals with the object of his or her anger. Berkowitz says of particular importance is the individual's interpretation of the mediate aggressive act. Aggression is in the mind of a beholder, and a movie will not activate aggression associated thought unless the viewer regard what is seen as aggression. Priming suggests that exposure to media violence calls up aggression ideas, which in turn prime other associated thoughts. Priming says television violence provides cues that put individuals in touch with angry thoughts and feelings they previously experienced, calling up an angry association and making it more likely that individuals will translate anger into aggressive behavior. So, conclusion. This theory suggests that certain cues in our environment have become strongly associated with aggression and aggressive behavior. They have aggressive cue value. If then a person becomes frustrated in the presence of these cues, he will behave more aggressively. Next, knowledge gap theory. The knowledge gap hypothesis was first proposed in 1970 by three University of Minnesota researchers: Philip J. Tichenor, then Associated Professor of Journalism and Mass Communication; George A. Donahue, Professor of Sociology; and Clarice N. Olin, Instructor in Sociology. This theory was first proposed in 1970 by Philip J. Tichenor, then Associated Professor of Journalism and Mass Communication; George A. Donoho, Professor of Sociology; and Clarice N. Olin, Instructor of Sociology, of all three researchers in the University of Minnesota. In this theory, knowledge is treated as any other commodity which is not distributed equally throughout the society, and the people at the top of the ladder has more easy access to it. This theory was used in the presidential election, and it was seen that when a new idea invades in the society and people of higher strat understand it better, and hence the gap expands. The knowledge gap can result in increased gap between people of lower and higher socio-economic status. The attempt to improve people's life with information via the mass media might not always work the way this is planned. Conclusion. What I have learned is that knowledge gap theory is a mass communication theory that states that wealthier and more educated people acquire information from mass media faster than lower socioeconomic classes. Wealthy people have greater access to media information and benefit more from it. The theory, also known as knowledge gap hypothesis. Next, spiral of the silent theory. And the author of this theory, named Elizabeth Noel Neumann, the German political scientist, contributed the famous model called spiral of silence. In 1947, Neumann and her husband found public opinion organization in Germany, and also she was a president of World Association for Public Opinion Research in 1978 to 1980. Throughout this spiral of silent theory, Newman indirectly explained the Jews' status during World War II under Nazi control. The spiral is created or reinforced when someone in the perceived opinion majority speaks out confidently in support of the majority opinion. Hence, the minority begins to be more and more distanced from a place where they are comfortable to voice their opinion and beginning to experience the aforementioned fears. The spiral effect is experienced in so much as the activates a downward spiral where fears continually build with the minority opinion holder, hence the minority opinion is never voiced. The theory has some weaknesses, or at least point of contention. Two of the most notable are those of the vocal minority and internet. The internet seemingly levels the playing field. Conclusion: the spiral of silence theory is a political science and mass communication theory proposed by the German political scientist Elisabeth Noel Neumann. It states that a social group or society might isolate or exclude members due to the member opinions. This stipulates that individuals have a fear of isolation. This theory is useful in developing countries and appreciable work. It is also helpful in these days and can decrease the disparity.